Hello, everyone. It's another beautiful day, 30 degrees Celsius here in Port Harcourt. And we'll be wrapping up the premium stage of the winter 2021 edition of the HMLE Complete Machine Learning Extension with project presentations from our interns. Our beloved and dedicated interns have worked within a learning community on different data sets, performing data wrangling and visualizations on them in the last 9 days. A lot of knowledge has been gained in the use of Python for machine learning, data wrangling, data storytelling, visualizations, Power BI, version control, using Git, and so much more. Today, our interns are ready to show their brilliance and drive you through building the future of work. In the next 3 minutes, we will listen to 2 of our interns share their experience in the premium and expectations for the machine learning journey. David Edu has a bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering, and today is the project lead of the HG Boost community. Also, Chiedu, who holds a degree in computer science and has joined this machine learning extension to gain useful skills, is a lone player in the factor analysis community. So, David, it's good to have you with us. Can you tell us, out of the 3 premium courses, which one is your favorite and why? Is David here?
David, you can unmute and speak.
Okay, David, we're waiting to hear from you.
Hello.
Hi. Out of the 3 premium courses, which one do you describe as your favorite and why? Can you tell us?
Sorry, I didn't get that.
Okay. Of the 3 premium courses, which is your favorite? And can you tell us why it is?
I try like all the courses because they are well structured. It makes it very easy to learn. So I like all of them. I like the structure of the courses, how they're very explanatory and they're cool.
All right. Thank you very much. That's David. Okay. Is Chidi here? Chidi. If Chidi is not here, let me take one person. Helen, are you here? Can you give us feedback? What is your expectation from the externship going forward from here? Hello, Helen, are you there? Like, okay, all right. Helen, hello, how are you?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Welcome. It's good to have you here. Please,
okay, thank you so much.
All right. Please, can you tell us your expectation from the externship going forward? What is your expectation?
Okay. All right. My expectation in the during the standard premium courses is that I should be able to use ML in different domains, especially because I'm interested in the healthcare system.
All right, that's a good one. I hope you're going to
thank you so much.
Expectations met. Good to have you. Okay, we have Chidi here. Chidi. Hello, Chidi. Please, can you give us your expectation?
Hey. Hello?
Hello, Helen. Thank you. Thank you for your feedback. Hello, Chidi. Okay, before we take Chidi's comments, there's a poll going on Zoom. Please kindly make your feedback through the poll and submit. Thank you. All right, Chidi, let's hear from you.
You said come again.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can now.
Okay, please tell us your expectation from this extension going forward. What is your expectation for this?
Going forward, I would prefer if we have more practical work to work on.
All right, that's a good one. Your expectation will be met.
Okay.
Just hang on and expect the best. All right, thank you, David. Thank you, Helen. Thank you, Chidi, for your feedback. Before we proceed to the presentation proper, please take notes that if you need to speak, please raise your hand and you'll be unmuted. Presenters for every group are expected to use their full names as their Zoom display name. Please use your full name as your Zoom display name. This is to enable us to identify them easily and grant them screen sharing permission. Post your comments, ask questions, and share how you feel on the chat boxes on Zoom and on YouTube. Alternatively, you can use the event code 36773 on slido.com. 36773 on slido.com. Best wishes, guys. May the best community win. I'll now leave you in the hands of Emmanuel Ikochi, who will handle proceedings from here. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sophia. Thank you, Chidi. Thank you, David. Thank you, Helen. I think the comments, the feedback has been immensely wonderful. And trust me, I want to bring out one of the words that Chidi said. I expect more practical approach to learning and becoming a machine learning expert. So one of the things I want to assure you guys before we go into this project presentation proper is that one of the approaches that we have adopted is the learning by doing approach. And that's one of the reasons why we have this session here today, where each of us have been able to do data wrangling and visualization on our different data sets. And we're here today to present our project to our judges. Our judges are here. Don't worry, they'll not be too strict. They'll not be too friendly either, but they'll be here to give you the needed recommendations, the needed mentorship, the needed grading and evaluation and validation that everything you need, to become better in machine learning and also in presentation. So I want to join my voice with that of Sophia's to welcome each and every one of you to the presentation proper today. Now we have a long list of communities on Slack, and our interns have been very active in these communities. Now the communities are named after machine learning algorithms. So I think that's exciting in its own self. So we have communities such as SGBoost, such as RNN, Random Forest, PCA, all coming to make their presentation. And I expect that it will be an exciting journey. And we'll have a couple of things to learn from this wonderful experience. And trust me, ladies and gentlemen, trust me, interns, trust me, our participants on Zoom, on YouTube, that this one will be memorable. Now let's proceed, to meet our judges. Now, these guys are members of the HMLE Lab faculty. These guys are have been involved, in training and raising. These guys have been involved in mentorship, in creating real life projects, and they have first-hand experience, in the kind of projects that we've given and more. Now, today, they have come not to teach, but to learn, to listen to you and grade and evaluate you. Now, on our list, we have a very esteemed Precious Oreka. Precious is a junior data scientist at Amway AI Lab. Precious is one of the successful interns from the Amway Data Science Internship of 2020, and Precious has a vast experience in this area. So hi, Precious. It's good to meet you. Maybe our interns can get to see your face before the presentation starts.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's nice to be here.
All right. Good afternoon, Precious. How is the weather over there?
It's pretty cold. It's pretty cold. We're managing.
Okay. I hope that the presentation will not be as cold as the weather is today. It's good to have you, Precious, on this call. And then we'll proceed to our second judge of the day, Gaurav Jain. Gaurav Jain is another junior data scientist at Amway AI Labs. And Gaurav has vast experience and network in information technology and in machine learning. And Gaurav has been, if you remember, how to improve your coding skills that we have on the Hour of Code session on Saturday. Gaurav has been able to mentor and teach, each and every one of us how we can improve our skills as data scientists. So let's get to meet Gaurav. Gaurav, hi, it's good to meet you this sunny afternoon.
Yeah, hello everyone. So hi, I'm happy to have you all here. I'm really happy to see all patients.
Wow, it's good to meet you too. I'm sure our interns are excited as I am. So how is the weather in New Delhi?
Yeah, weather it's pretty beautiful. The spring has arrived. So, and I hope the presentation will be as beautiful as today's weather.
All right, so Gaurav hopes that the presentation will be as beautiful as the weather is in New Delhi. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Our third judge of the presentation, who will join us in a short while because she had to fix a couple of things, is Zaliat Mohammed. Zaliat is a data scientist at Amway AI Lab, and she has led you through the version control using Git session of the Hour of Code. If you remember that, she has been very, very impactful, in sharing knowledge and in, training machine learning enthusiasts to become machine learning professionals. So Zaliat will join us in a couple while, and then we can have her, tell us how the weather is and what she expects of this presentation. But now, notwithstanding, we have a few notes that we need to give to our presenters. First of all, like Sophia has mentioned, ensure that your display name on Zoom is the same name that we know, the same name you submitted to us. This will enable us, identify you easily. And because when you want to present, we have to, give you sharing permissions. So without identifying you properly, it may become almost impossible to do that. At the same time, I'd also like each and every one of us to go to our chat boxes on YouTube and on Zoom and share how you feel. Freemium has ended. This is like the last activity of the Freemium phase of the Amway Complete Machine Learning Extension. So tell us how you feel. David has shared his thoughts. Chidi has shared his thoughts. Helen has shared her thought. But you can also go on and share how you feel. If I must go first, I want to say that I am very much elated and excited about how much progress we've made so far in this journey. While we are with your comments, and I'll be very glad to read your comments out. The first team to present their project today will be the Naive Baye community, and these guys will be represented by Omoniyi Akipelu and Odara Raphael. So let us know, Akipelu and Raphael, when you're ready, and we'll proceed with the presentation. While we are with that, I'd like you to know that each one of you have 5 minutes to present your project. And in that 5 minutes, we expect that you give the judges, what it would take to get an A+ in the presentation. Yeah, I'm using the description of A+, so that we understand how serious the grading is. And at the same time, after your presentation, the judges will ask you questions, any questions that they like regarding your presentation. We expect that you answer them in the best way that you can, without encroaching into other people's time. But after the whole presentations for the day, we will now have the judges give their recommendations to you, one after the other. So before Akipelu and Raphael comes up, I think our third judge, Zaliat, is here present. So Zaliat, hi.
Hi, Emmanuel.
Yeah,
good
so
afternoon, everyone. It's nice
good afternoon.
to yeah. Sorry, I'm having issues with my net. My video. So
okay, that's fine.
That.
So that's fine. So thank you for joining us. So what do you expect today? What do you expect our interns to bring to the table as we prepare for the presentation in the next few seconds?
I just want them to blow my mind. Because I've been seeing the activities on Slack, and I've still been waiting for this day. So they should just blow my mind.
So thank you very much, George Zaliat Mohammed. One thing you should take note of our interns. Zaliat is expecting that you do what? Blow mind. So let's see how Omoni you will be able to do that in the next 5 minutes. So Omoni, you please, the time starts right away.
Good afternoon. Do I have to share my screen?
Yes, you'll have to share your screen and present your slides.
Okay. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Good afternoon once again. On behalf of members of the committee, I welcome you to this presentation. So we were given the data set of Uber pickups. That's data on pickups done by Uber within the New York City districts. So my other co-presenter is here with us, Raphael. He'll be speaking much after I've done my presentation. So the data sets, we're given 4 data sets combined, but we're able to work on one of the files. And that has to do with the Uber pickups within time duration of April to September 2014. Within this data set, we had different columns that contains date, time, latitude, longitude, the base station that sends out the call outs for the Ubers, and that's it. So what we did was, the first thing we did was to break down the data set and to pre-process it. So we divided it into, we added new features to create different columns for us to be able to analyze the data. So that's date and time, latitude, longitude, base, months, week, day, minutes. So what we did was to use a group by operation to analyze the number of trips done by Uber by hour in total. So, sorry. Yeah, we found out that majority of the pickups, the number of trips occurred during certain periods of the time, and that is between 1600 to 2100, with a peak period at the 1700, that's 5 p.m. Using parental distribution statistical analysis, we can postulate that between 3 o'clock, that's 1500, and 2100, that Uber makes a lot of revenue, 80% of its revenue between that time. So we also analyze the data based on number of trips by months, and we found out that in the month of September, more Uber trips are made in the month of September compared to the rest. We also found out that there's like an increasing progression from the month of April to the month of September. So we also did a group by operation analyzing trips by weekday, and we found out that between Wednesday and Thursday and Friday, that's Uber witnesses the highest number of trips compared to the weekends, which is relatively very low. Now we analyze the trips by day also, considering the day of the months, and there was not much information on it. Everything was kind of normalized. So using trips by hour and by weekday, we got the same thing, but we witnessed that there's a difference between the trips that are made during the weekdays and the trips that are made during the weekends. For example, like I said earlier, the Uber makes its most trips between the hours of 1600 and 2100, and we can see the peaks here. But for the weekends, it's slightly different because most trips are made within the midnight region, which symbolizes that people are going for nightlife activities and the rest. While for the weekdays, it shows that workers or people are returning back from their workplace and they use Uber a lot. So analyzing trips by months and weekdays, we found out that in the month of September, there's high number of Uber trips compared to the rest. So in conclusion, we can postulate that the peak demand hour is 1700. The main customer categories are usually the workers who tend to return back from work during that time period. And people tend to use the Uber early in the mornings, like I showed earlier, and late at night during the weekends. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Moni. Thank you for your presentation. Okay, so we'll now hand over to the judges. Precious.
Yeah, thank you for this wonderful presentation. Could you go to the top, please?
Slide number 4, 5.
Yeah, the slide number 4. Could you just give me a walkthrough on how you achieved this?
Oh yeah, okay. What we did was to strip the date and time into dates and time. Then we had to analyze this series and break it down into weekday, day, hour, and minutes. So we worked with the weekday and the hour in analyzing our data. Okay. Although much work can be done by analyzing the latitude and longitude using full limb packages and also the base station, but for the time we worked on this project, we just only concentrated on the number of trips, which we use count operation to analyze the number of times this occurred within the data set.
Okay, I'm asking because I saw on your data sets the latitude and longitude for a feature you get. So I was expecting probably making use of it to know the regions or the geography where you use the Uber pickups. I don't know if you understand.
Yeah.
So you just said.
I understand.
Okay. Could you just go down a little to the visualizations? From the visuals I'm seeing, you used more of count plots. Were those the only plots available, like you could get insights from?
Not really. We did a number of them, but from our presentation, we only presented this because of the number of slides and time.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Lastly, for your conclusion, so what would you suggest?
I suggest that Uber places more resources on meeting their target audience, which are the workers, and for a duration of the peak period, which is between 600 and 2100, majorly at 5 o'clock, 1700.
Okay, because this is just a visualization presentation, so I wasn't expecting you to do a modeling or anything. or to give predictions, future predictions. It's fine. It's nice. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you, Precious. Let's hear from Gaurav.
Yeah, hi. Wonderful presentation. Nice. So I have a question. Can you please go to the slide where you have grouped by month? The months, yeah. So there is option for April to September only. So is this for a purpose, or there was not availability of data?
Come again, please.
Like you have plotted only April to September. So
Yes.
any specific reason for that? Like other months like January, February, March,
Yeah,
November,
the
December.
data sets only consist of data between April and September, and that's what we used.
Okay. And can you account for any particular reason why September is on peak?
Yeah, I can't. We need more data to be able to finalize and conclude. I mean, this is just like the visualization, and based on this, we can't really assume. So we need more data to conclude.
Okay. Yeah. Overall, it's fine. I just to add on. You can just take it at a next step. You can try geospatial analysis on this data, because you have latitude and longitudes. So
Yeah.
to take it at a next step, you can try this also.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks.
That's from my side. Nice work.
Okay, thank you, Gaurav. Zalia, do you have anything to ask or say?
Yes. Wonderful presentation, Omoni. I love the way you presented. It was quick, it was fast, and we were still able to understand what you're trying to say. And I love the way the PowerPoint presentation is simple, not too many colors, and you just have bullet points. So can you scroll to, I think, the 5th? Yeah. So what you can do next time is to try to reduce the number of words. So you can just use bullet points for this, so we don't have because we have visualization that is showing this. That's the reason why we have visualization. So you can reduce the words and show us the plots. That's what you have. So like I said, I love the presentation and the PowerPoint. So the question I have is, so if I was a competitor and maybe I want to compete with Uber,
yeah,
and I come to you since you already have this data, so just talk to me like you are the data analyst and you want to tell me what to do in order to compete with the Uber. I'm a competitor, like I have a different company, but it's something like Uber. Yes.
Another rival company, right?
Another company, yes.
Yeah, so okay. Based on this data, we could postulate a lot of things. We noticed that the peak period is at 1700, and from the data, we understand that this is within the NYC New York region, and we could say that majority of these people who use the Uber at this time are workers. So concentrating on workers, your target audience should be like workers for the weekday, and sorry. Then during there's data. Yeah, so during the nights, you could see that on weekends, the night activity, the Uber trips are higher at night. So, I mean, concentrating on workers during the weekdays and then people who enjoy nightlife during the weekends are key to your, increase in revenue.
Wow, thanks. All right, that'll be all. Thank you very much for the presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Omoni. I'm sure this one is wonderful. So I'm sure Zaliat is starting to feel wowed, and her mind has been blown out already.
Yes, I am.
All right. So thank you. So we'll leave recommendations for later on in the call, but for now, let's proceed to the next presenter. And the next presenter will be from the RNN community, Recurring Neural Network community. And that person, the person who will be representing that community will be Afolake Bayewu, one of our standing interns. I'm sure Afolake would also blow your mind away.
Yeah, hello. Good afternoon, everyone, Nigerian time.
Good afternoon, Afolake.
This is Afolake, presenting for RNN Group. Please permit me to share my screen.
Yeah, please do.
Okay.
Yeah, we can see your screen now. So 5 minutes.
So this is Afolake Bio. I'm actually trying to talk about a customer transaction data set. It's our project actually entails a bike sale transaction. It actually deals with a company called Rocket Central Limited, and they are trying to help they're trying to figure out what parts of their organization they need to use their marketing strategy. So in order to help them, we decided to create some visuals, and Rocket was trying to target their high valued customers based on some customer demographics. So in order to achieve our project, what we did was basic plots. We're actually restricted on time constraints. We're only 2 members trying to contribute, so it really affected us in our project. So in order to visualize our project, we use basic bar plots, bar charts. So from our conclusions, we realized that most of the customers that were involved in bicycles were mostly females. Then in order to be able to, we actually had a little issue with our data set, trying to clean and all that. Most of our data set had no values. So in order to remove that, reduce that, we moved the null values and removed some columns away. So generating that, we also have, we were able to group them by gender. We realized that most of them were females. And at the same time, we realized that some customers who own the cars were, some customers, when we counted our data set by customers who own cars, we couldn't really pick which of them was a yes or which one was a no. Then when we grouped them, we also grouped them by categories, industry category. Here we realized that most of our customers were from manufacturing sector, the finance sector, and health. Those were people who bought bicycles the most. We also realized that our customers, when we grouped them by wealth, we realized that most of them were mass customers. Not much people were affluent and not much people had high net worth. Then our customers were also grouped by the industry category. We realized that most of them were programmers and followed by the engineers. After the engineers, we realized that some of them were even analysts. We also tried to create a time series data because our data actually a time series plot, because our data entails time, years and all that. So we realized that between the year 1970 to 1980, most customers that bought bicycles were from that age range. The same thing with the age. Most people that use bicycles were mostly between the age of 40 and 50. Then a little problem here. Sorry with my visuals here. We're just trying to combine everything together. So our we try to distribute our customers based on years. Within the space of 3 years, we realized that customers here, most of the customers were aged between 30 and 50. Then the tenure of customers that actually bought, when we distributed the customers by tenure, most of them used bicycles between the 10 to 15 years. in conclusion, we can, just to save time, I'm sorry I have to cut that out. Just to save time, we realized that most of our females, our conclusion was most of our females owned bikes. Most females were the ones that got bikes. Most customers were females. And most customers from the manufacturing, financial sector, as I said earlier, and the health industries were with the least customers from, we are the ones that bought bikes the most, while the least customers were from agriculture and communication industry. So I would advise that the firm can focus more on sending advertisement to people in industry with higher customers and less advertisement to people in industry from lower customers. Most bike owners are neither affluent nor have a high net worth, but have mass customers. From our analysis, as I said earlier, possession of the car has no relationship with possession of the bike. Most customers have postcode between 2,000 to 2,300. We were trying to create this using a map, but because of time constraints, we couldn't complete this. But this was actually shown in my previous slide. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I feel like, well, I never expected anything less. You've always shown brilliance, and this is not different. But let me not take the words out of the judge's mouth. So let me leave Precious, to make that to make his mark.
I think this is wonderful. This is very wonderful. First of all, I'll applaud yourself and your presenter. I think I liked the visuals. Be able to tell stories like the different colors. I think you're able to do well with the colors as well. Could you go to the time series? Sorry. Okay, from your time series, from what I got, the customers who owned, I don't think, if I'm mistaken, the customers who I think had bicycles were within the range of 1970 to 1980, that high purchase of bicycles, right?
No, yeah, between 1970 to casually 1980, not really 1980.
Okay, and is there any specific reason why it dropped from 2000?
Well, I couldn't really tell from the data because we really couldn't merge data together to pair the reasons.
Sorry, from 2000, most people born will be infants, so they can't ride bikes from that age. Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. You said from 2000 they'll be infants.
Yes, they are still young. So when they get older, hopefully they'll start possessing bikes.
I'm asking because I'm trying to understand if bikes are still feasible now, like we're in 2021. So you're saying from 1970 to 1980, there was a high flux of using bikes, and it started dropping. So I'm trying to understand why it started dropping. So that's what I'm trying to get from this plot. I don't know if you understand me.
Our data was actually up to 2000, and that's why we are limited to the number of years here.
Oh, okay, I understand. From the data, right? Okay. I think that's just all. I think you're able to explain and pass the information across well. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you, Precious. Thank you, Afolake. So maybe Gurav or Zaliat have anything to say or ask. Let's hear them.
Okay, so Gurav, you can go first.
Okay, yeah. So nice presentation. Good work. Like, just to want to say one thing. In the slide where you have shown male and female count.
What slide did you say?
In slide which you have shown male and female count. I guess it's 4th or 5th slide.
This one?
Yeah, like these two slides, slide number 4 and 5. So like these kind of plots make very absurd feeling. You can try other kinds of plot here, like pie chart or maybe some different kind of plot. Else I think it was fine. Although one more thing, in the conclusion slide, try to make one line conclusion also, apart from the detailed conclusion you are giving. So like for me, as in if I go through the slide, I just getting all the conclusion in one line also.
Okay, noted.
Yeah, everything else is fine. Good work.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'd like to say first of all that I loved your presentation because you were able to explain what the visuals were, and you used the visuals and you didn't have to like add words to it like in the presentation. So great. So what I would like to point out is I think from here, from this current slide that you have on, if I was a new person that didn't know anything about what you were doing, I would not really understand this because the y-axis doesn't really say much. So I don't know why you don't have like a label in the y-axis. So I don't know if it's count of cars or count of bicycles. I don't really know what
The number
that's.
of customers that owns cars, it's a large data set, and that's why you have it on the y-axis. So counting
Yes,
customers by
you
those
could,
who own car, whether they were yes and whether they were no.
yes, I think I understand. What I'm trying to say is what you could do is to label the y-axis, and for the, I don't know, did you screenshot the visuals or
Yes,
did you
I
save them?
did, because it was a little bit difficult trying to save directly. The image was too large.
Okay, how did you try to save it?
I used my sniping tool, Windows Snipe.
Oh, okay. So what you could do is to the Matplotlib or whatever visuals you use have a way to save figures. So maybe you can check that out. But overall, it was nice, and I love how you concluded it. So if I was the manager or the CEO of the company, I'd really be happy to have this. So nice presentation.
Thank you.
All right, thank you guys. Thank you, Afolake. Thank you, judges. Like I said, nice presentation. Also, like Zaliat and the others have said, nice presentation. And well, I think it's getting more interested. Well, Chidi wants to be top of the table and he doesn't want Afolake and Omoni to top him. So he has come up with his A game and is representing factor analysis group. So Chidi, you're on next. Yeah, Chidi, we can see your screen, but we can't hear you speak.
Hello.
We can hear you, but it wasn't too clear.
Okay. Okay, so this is my slide for the factor analysis community.
All right.
Then we're giving the data sets on student performance. The data set was clean of any end, but had many categorical data in a column, which had separates to individual columns. Then I performed my visualization on 5 plots: peer plots, bar plots, heat map, distribution plot, and count plot. Then let me proceed. Then I loaded the data to check the shape. That's know the number of columns and rows. I check the info to know the data type I'm working with. Then I had to rename race/ethnicity group column to race because that was just too long for me. Then I had to filter. I applied the filtering option to get the number of males, to get males and above 70 and scored above 70 in reading score. And their parental level should be, I guess, masters. Yes. So going on, I did the value count for that parental level of education, and per race, there are groups there. That's group A, group B, group C, group D. So I had to. Okay, so this is where I splitted the columns into individual columns. That's the I splitted gender, parental level of education, then launch. Then these are my visualization. In my visuals, it shows that group E performs well in math score, unlike other groups. It has a high score compared to other groups. Then my count plot, this is gender, male, female, and group C is the orange one. It's better than each of them in the male category, and in the female category too. It's still better than it's topping all of them. Then I performed the pair plot. That's to show the relationship between a column versus a column. And the U I use was gender. That's why the visuals are like this. Moving on. And perform the count plot. So I think I was gonna mention that. Oh, I think I've done that twice. Then I just realized I don't have a conclusion. So I had to do one or two to come up with something. Then I performed machine learning algorithms on the data set that was given to us. So I used the logistic regression, random forest, and decision tree to come up with my prediction. So this is everything. I had to import, I had to fit it, and I had to predict. I had to use classification reports and confusion metrics to get everything. Yeah, so I'm the only one presenting for my group. Okay, and that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Chidi. So before I leave it out to the judges, let me quickly mention, guys, that Chidi worked alone on this project. And even when everybody left and was not coming back to work on the project, he took up the challenge. So I want to encourage you, Chidi, please keep it up. You've done well. So thank you. So our judges now, Gurav.
Yeah, nice work. So just to ask a thing, like the first question is, when you are doing a data set or a question, what is the problem statement you are trying to solve, or what is your target? So can you throw some light on that?
Okay, I wanted to
After
check the
seeing this
number
data
of
set,
you said?
like after seeing this data set, what were the questions you thought like we should solve using data visualization, or what are the problem statement you are trying to solve?
Okay, so basically I had to see the number of people per race that performed in the number of educational level of the parents, yes, per race.
Okay.
And it's grouped there, some high school, some college, master's, bachelor's degree per race.
Okay. So yeah, nice. Also, like try to include more visualizations in the data set, and you can like keep the coding part to GitHub only, like in the presentation. Try to include the conclusions which you are trying to get from a particular visualization. Like you have included the visualizations in like in the bottom slides. I like them. Just yeah, you can do more on this. Although like nice work, I like the overall thing.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Gurav. I'm sure David is I'm sure you're smiling now already. Okay, Zalia, sorry I caught you. Please go on.
Yeah, it's fine. Okay, so Chidi, I want to commend you because I know it's not easy for you to take up the whole responsibility of putting this project together. So kudos to that. Kudos to you.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so I'll just mention a few things, but overall, it's okay. So what you could do is maybe reduce the number of words you have in your presentation and just make it bullet point. Because if I was maybe a CEO, I don't think I want to look at your codes or look at, but if you want to include codes, you can use tools like carbon.ssh that beautify, like it presents the code in a very nice format. So overall, I enjoyed the presentation. Thank you.
Yeah, Precious. Thank you,
okay. Generally, it was nice, being that you worked alone. I think working alone has its own disadvantage because of the restrictions to ideas. I personally liked this work, probably because of the data sets or features it has, but I didn't really get so much meaning from it. Other than it, I think you did very well for yourself, but I was expecting some deep insights from it. The visuals were a little okay. You didn't explain the heat map. Okay, looking at this current data set now, like my colleague said, Gura said, what's the problem statement? For me, I think we're working on the level of education for parents and their races. So what can you tell from this? Just briefly, just explain it. What can you tell from this count plot you just did, this value count?
Okay, it shows that
like
my presentation is that parents that have that went to high school perform better than other parents that didn't go. That's by the groups.
Okay, they perform better if, considering their master's degree or bachelor's degree. They want, so
Yes.
then what about the races? And what about the races? Because I can see race here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the total.
Like I can see. Yeah,
Yes,
like
the
I can
race
see
is
group A
grouping
race. Yeah, like group A race. What does it mean? Like what does it mean? Is it for black, for Caucasian, for white?
No, it wasn't stated. It wasn't. Yeah, I understand. It wasn't stated in data sets. It was just per groups: Group A, Group C, Group A, Group B, Group C, and Group D, and Group E. There are 5 groups under the race column.
Okay. Okay. I think generally it was nice. Just the explanations, like I didn't really get. Generally, it was very nice. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Chidi.
Okay.
Thank you so much. So gradually drawing close to the last thing for the evening. So before then, I'd like to see one or two persons make a few comments on the chat boxes on Zoom and on YouTube before we call on the last team to present today. Just in one word, describe the feeling that you now have and how you feel basically. Just in one word. I'm expecting to see that. And while we're waiting, every of each one of us to put in our words on Zoom and on YouTube, I want to in a very special way invite us, to not miss this opportunity, especially going forward in the freemium. Wow, Chiedu, the man of the few minutes ago, I said that he's feeling awesome already. So thank you, Chidi, for that wonderful remark. I can see somebody saying that this is exciting on YouTube. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Want to see more of this comment? So we move on to the next one. But remember, like I said, do not lose this opportunity. Sign up for the premium. And this is just like a tip of the iceberg. Going forward, we have a lot of project presentations, machine learning work to be done. And was it Daniel that mentioned, was it David that mentioned that he wants to see more practical approach to learning. So this is what we'll have in the extension. Adetola Helen is saying that this presentation is great, and I believe the premium session will be exciting. I wish I can dance. I will have shown you my dancing skill. But thank you, Aditola. And trust me, it will be more exciting than you can even imagine. So the next group to present, which will be the closing group for the evening, will be XG Group Community. And our presenters will be Oreoluwa Sulaimon and Adeshoba Olamide Adewale. So even while the presentation is going on, please feel free to still share your comments. I'd like to see them. So Oreoluwa and Adeshoba, so we expect that you blow our minds as well in this presentation.
We'll try our best. Hi everyone. My name is Oreoluwa Slivan, and I will be presenting for the XG Boost community. I'll share my screen. I don't know if you can see my screen now.
Yes, we can.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah. Cool.
Okay. For us, our data was power consumption data in India, and we decided to title ours "The Impact of Energy Distribution in India per Region Before and During the Lockdown." The data analyzed for this project was obtained from Kaggle, titled Power Consumption in India between 2019 and 2020. It was collected over 70 months. Then the data was collected from the weekly energy report of Power System Operation Corporation Limited, and it is exhaustive in the demonstration of energy consumption statewide. India is the third largest producer and third largest consumer of electricity. The national electric grid in India has a total capacity of 370.106 gigawatts, while the renewable power plant consists of 35.86% of India's capacity. However, during the COVID pandemic last year, when it started, everyone had to be under lockdown between the months of April and May. So we decided to analyze this data and see how the power consumption was before and during the lockdown. We tried to draw out questions that we could use to help us visualize better and know what we are doing with the data. And we tried to look at the region which consumed the maximum and minimum power yearly. We tried to look at the region, the state in each region now. So to streamline that to straight states from region. Then we looked at the 10 states that consumed the maximum and the least between these years. Then in what month do we see like a rise and decline in consumption? They also looked at the contrast between before lockdown and during lockdown. Then we looked at highest and lowest value reached by each state at any time of the year. Our first step was the data wrangling, which involves transforming our data into a better form that can be analyzed to generate valid actionable insight. The first thing we did was carry out an exploratory analysis on the data, on the first data, which was the data that had the states now. They had the states and the power they consumed yearly. And we used the describe button to show distribution, but we also dropped the other values and restricted it to just minimum and maximum to just show the states that had the highest and lowest consumption. Then for the second data, we had two data in the data, in our data set. The second data really just showed the state, the region, and longitude and latitude. But what we did was that we dropped the other columns and restricted just regions and states. Then we removed duplicated states, then merged the first data and second data so that we have the state, the region, and the power that they consume together. Then we went ahead to show the regions and by like the power consumption by regions. And from here, we can see that the West region consumed the most data. They had the highest value here, followed by the North region, then the South region, followed by the East region, and the least region that consumed power was the Northeast region. Then we tried to look at it by states. And for the West region, I'm sorry I can't pronounce the names well, but the Maharashtra region, in the West region, states in the West region consumed the most, while the GOA consumed the least power. Then in the north states, for the states in the north, we have UP, which is the Uttar Pradesh, consume the highest electricity, while the Chandigarh consume the least. Then in the east, for the east states, we have the west that consume the highest, and the school consumes. So we did the same thing for the other states. We did, this is state 2019. Then this is also still 2019. We did for 2019 also. Then for 2020, we did the same thing also to just highlight the states that consume the least and consume the maximum. Then we did that for west, south, east also, the same way we did for the very first year. Then to show the 10 state, the top 10 state that consumed the highest in 2020, this is the top 10 of the states that consume the highest electricity, ranging from Maharashtra to Punjab. Then we have the least 10 also, which the list is Scream, and the highest here is Goa. I think it's similar to what we saw in the very first set of the analysis that we did, where we saw that Mistra had the highest here, and Goa was one of the lowest, but that which is surprised that is also Scream brother at the lowest, which is why it's also here. Then this is the 10 highest for 2019 and the lowest for 2019 also. Then this is a very important part in our analysis, because we wanted to look at the consumption during lockdown, without lockdown, and during lockdown. And from what we can see, there was a decrease in the consumption. And further research showed that this is probably because during the lockdown, people were home. There was no industrial production, e.g. like mining or auto manufacturing, which is two things that are very and that is very popularly done in India. Then there was decline in economic activity because everybody was home. So the only power that is being consumed is probably just household electricity. Then we try to look at the daily and monthly consumption at each year, which is what this graph here is showing. Then we noticed that in this period there was a hiatus, which we now tried to like bring out here. And between July and August, there was really no record showed, even though our data didn't show any missing value. But for this period, there was just nothing. There was probably a blackout or no electricity at all. Then we tried to look at what states are the highest and what months are the highest and lowest consumption. This is for 2019, and then monthly we can see May are the lowest. There was a dip here, and our highest is here in November. While for the daily, it's quite similar. Also, May here at the highest here, and the lowest was seen between March and April, almost April actually. Then this is for 2020, where the lowest was in March. And yeah, that's the end.
Wow. Thank you, Orooluwa. Okay, let me leave my excitement for the judges. I'm sure they have more words to say than I do. So let me start with Zalia. Zalia, what do you think about Aure's presentation and whatever questions you may have for her?
Wow, this is amazing. This is nice. I really love the presentation. So can you continue to share? Sorry.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah. So I love the fact that title. I love the fact that you were more specific, so we actually understand what you were trying to say. And I love the fact that you did the dataset description, so we understand what the dataset is about and the problem statement too. That was wonderful. And overall, the presentation was awesome.
Thank you.
So the only thing I would mention is to reduce the words in the presentation so it doesn't feel like you are reading out.
Okay.
You're reading out. So you can just make it bullet points so we don't just get tired of watching. It's fine. But overall, I love the visuals. You had like lots of visuals. And it's great. And your presentation was awesome. So thank you very much.
Please, I just want to give a quick shout out to my group, my team members actually, because I didn't work on this alone, and I forgot to include that. It's like us were a lot, but to David Edu, Adeshoba, Dusi Sam, Olaoluwa Ogunshe, James Idada. Those are the people that we work together to bring this together. So yeah, it was a team effort. It wasn't just me. Thank you.
That's awesome. Thank you very much. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you, Zaliat. The only problem with Oroluwa's list is that I didn't hear my name. I'm jealous now. All right,
Whose name
so
did I mention?
you didn't mention my name.
I don't know his stuff is.
Well,
Oh,
fine.
okay. Sorry. Shout out to Aboyu HQ too.
All right, so thank you. Yeah, shout out to me. Yeah, so let's hear Precious.
Okay, that was really, really wonderful. To be honest, I think I enjoyed every bit of it. It was more like I was like in sync with what you were saying from beginning to the end. Initially, I thought I was like, was this going to be a text presentation because of the words from the beginning, like untitled visuals, which is the core of what we're doing today. Quickly, could you show me the region, parts of the regions you're talking about, the visuals? I just have something to add up there. The first visual you had on regions. Okay, yeah. I don't know. Is it the data set? Were you having features that had to do with population or something? Because you told us the months, the regions that had or that used more power consumption. So I'm trying to understand if there was any correlation between the population, probably because the northeast or southeast region has more population than others. So probably maybe that's why they have or they consume more energy. I don't know if you understand.
So for the data here,
Yeah.
we had like states, right? In one data we had like the list of states, and they just put like the energy they consumed. And in the other data we have states and we had regions. Like in front of the state they had their corresponding regions also. So what we did was that we meshed both datas, right, so that we can have everything in one data. So we didn't necessarily have like the population in each region, which should have been something I think that if we had the opportunity to further analyze, we can now, and if we add that, we could see what region had the most population. That could probably determine why they had the highest level of consumption or something.
Consumption. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that was the only fault I had with it, but generally it was nice.
Thank
I
you.
really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Precious. Let's hear Pura.
Sorry.
Hi. So it was like really wonderful presentation. I like the way you laid out your problem statement at the first, and you had a clarity of thought what you are going to solve with the data set. So I like that thing. Like +1 for that. And I would like to mention one thing. When you are doing comparison between 2 years, like 2019, 2020, so you can do like just show them in the same plot so that it's easy for our eyes to get a comparison easily. So you
Okay.
have like laid it down in one by one way. So you can do it in one chart. Maybe like you can show each month together for both the years. So that would make your presentation more powerful. And also, can you just conclude your whole presentation in one line? If I give you one line to conclude your presentation.
That would be that during lockdown, there was indeed a decrease in power consumption, and that can be attributed to the fact that everybody was home and there was really no economic activity going on.
Okay, nice. So yeah, overall, I liked everything. Just you can do one thing. Like in beginning, you can reduce the number of words. It's unnecessarily when you are speaking the same thing and same thing is written. So else, I love the presentation. Wow.
Thank you.
So all the comments have been that we love your presentation. So keep it up, Oluwa. And shout out to your team. SG Boost community is one of the most active as regards to this project preparation. And I want to give a thumbs up to that community. And please keep it up, keep it up. And I hope that all of you in that community, especially have worked on this project, will still be together in the premium. I wouldn't like to miss any one of you. I know Relu has joined, and I'm sure the rest will join her too. So thank you guys. I did mention that it was the last presentation, but we have one more to go, and I will crave your indulgence. We're still within the frame of time, and this is one group that has worked tirelessly to ensure that this their project presentation comes out top. So for the Card Boost community, Kosi Ruhegu will be leading the presentation. Yeah, Kosi. Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is I'm representing the Card Boost community. The project working on data wrangling and visualization, 10 mails from India. The data 200 unique, about only 100 of them were usable due to outliers and values. So stating from the analysis, it can be seen that on average, it took a longer time to cook the sweet meals, while sour meals took the shortest time to prepare. And for the distribution, there were more. Sorry, for the distribution, there were more spicy meals in India. That's what I said. Also, I analyzed the average cook time for each of the diets, as vegetarian and non-vegetarian, and it showed that while there was no significant difference between the time it took to cook vegetarian and non-vegetarian meals, the time difference before cooking was quite significant. Also, it shows from the analyzed data set that dessert takes time to cook, while snacks take time to cook. Also, it can be seen that most people in India, as the data set says, always went with the main course, while the least amount of people went with. Then analyzing the time for cooking region, it shows that the people in the central region spent the most time cooking, while those in the northeastern region spent the least time cooking. Also,
Do we still have Kosi here? Oh, I think we lost. I think we lost Kosi there. Yeah, so we expect that he will join again. But then while we'll give him just maybe 1 minute to read. Yeah. So I think Kosi is trying to reconnect. So I just got one interesting comment from one of our participants on YouTube. He's saying that this presentation is very interesting. So thank you, a commenter who has pleaded anonymity. Thank you for that wonderful comment. So while we await Kosi to reconnect, please, like I mentioned before, if you have any comments that you want to make, please let us know in the chat boxes, especially as regards how you feel, in the program already and your expectation towards, the end of the externship. At the end of the externship, what do you hope to have achieved? So let's get to hear your thoughts. So I think we have okay, he's not back yet. Okay, so while we continue to see what we can for him, let me leave the room for our judges to start giving, their recommendations, their general remarks, their general overview, and ways that we can improve as machine learning enthusiasts, as machine learning experts from a machine learning enthusiast level, and ways that we can become better in this regard. So let me start with Precious Oreka.
Okay, it was really great having to hear you guys present. I think I enjoyed every bit of your presentations. Quick one, my recommendation would be, like I wrote here, would be, I think we all should try to research more on data, because from what I observed, we were just reading out no added information. I think for the parts Kosi was presenting on, he said a particular region had, I think it took more time, or they had more demand for the food or something. So it was just a call out from the visualizations. There was no added feel. So imagine you're presenting to a larger audience and you just go through your slides and you just, okay, this one had more, and this particular meat took more time. That was all. Next one was more spicy. That was all. And you move on. I think we'll all be lost and bored. So by having to research on particularly for your data set, why it took more time, I think you have more meanings and we get interested to hear you out. So I think that was one major thing we all had issues with, trying to add more vibe. I think apart from the previous presentation, other than this by Oreoluwa, yeah, I think that was all. Then another will be, we're working on the data wrangling and visualization. It was more of count plots. I think Kusi was trying to introduce the, what's it called? I think I saw a bar plot or something. I can't remember. A pie chart, yeah. Pie chart is one very good way of analyzing things, especially when you're comparing. So we should try as much as possible to incorporate the things we learned from the freemium courses as well. I think the more we have different visuals, I think the more we have more meanings and more stories to tell. So that was all. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you very much, Precious. I'm sure this one has, stuck to our interns, and the next presentation, I want to assure you that these guys will put everything you've said into, utilitarian use, and it will be very, very, very helpful. So thank you for your recommendations. Thank you for your judgments. Thank you for everything that you're giving to us today to live by. So let's listen to our beloved Gurav Jain give his recommendations.
So, I love every intern is struggling or hustling to be better, and I love the presentations. It was wonderful seeing the whole journey they have made till now in Premium, and they are going to make in Premium. So, yeah, a few things I would like to mention as a suggestion. Whenever you get a data set or you are trying to do some machine learning model, maybe data visualization or anything, just keep the end goal in mind. Just firstly try to get the essence what actually you are trying to do. Try to get the feel of your problem statement that you want to actually solve. See, if you do the coding stuff and whole modeling visualization, and at the end you are not able to justify it, or you are not able to actually tell what it is for, so it is of no use. So just keep a thought process in beginning only, that what you are going to achieve with this particular data set. So clarifying your problem statement is one of the most important thing when you are approaching any problem. So it's a general advice when you are taking any kind of work, just take the first thing what you are going to do with this. If you got the answer to that, it will be easier for you to solve it, and as well as it will be easier for others to use your approach. Yeah, so this was one thing. Other was try to explore more of the, like, you are doing visualization thing, so try to explore how that visualization is relevant to the real world. So if I have made a plot for Uber pickup, so just try to give an essence like how this plot is related to real world and what is actually showing. So that is a part of what you say data storytelling also. So when you try to correlate it with real world, that becomes really wonderful. So the whole part of presentation is like you have done the coding stuff and now you are explaining it to other people who actually, who maybe don't know what you have coded, who want to know what is the outcome. So be clear in your outcome, how you are presenting it. You may like just think on the other side of the table when you are a presenter. Just or keep in mind like the other person in front of me, who he is, like who he or she is, what is the target audience, and go in that. So this was the other thing, and last thing I would like to say. This is not just an end, this is a beginning. So like you have got this data set, you have solved this problem, very good. Now try to grow. As I always say, plan, execute, and grow. So now you have to grow and you have to take this thing to a next level. Otherwise it will not be of any benefit. So just to, in yourself, you have explored a lot. Now you have to explore more. You have to achieve a next level with this. So this was from me. All the best, everyone. I love the presentation. Keep it up. Well done. Well.
Wow, thank you, Gaurav. He said, this is not the end of it. This is just the beginning. And he said, you have uploaded already, and make sure that you explore more going forward. So thank you very much, Gaurav. Thank you for that wonderful recommendations. I'm sure that with these recommendations, the next presentations we'll have will be outstanding. So thank you for that. You have a very, very, very impactful hand on the progress of our intents going forward. Thank you again. So let's listen to Zaliat.
Okay, like just to add to what Gaurav and Precious have said, it was a wonderful presentation and it shows that you guys have been putting a lot of effort into this, and it shows that you have learned a lot within this short period of time. So the few recommendations I will give, I'll just it will be general. So what I noticed is we didn't really bring out the topic, except for Aurelua, who like brought out the topic and she kind of added some twist to it. So we should try to bring out the topic so we can understand what the title of the project is. So we should also try to reduce the words we use in the presentation, since we said we are trying to like tell story with data. We should just use visualizations, and if we need to speak, if we need to add words, it should be said with the mouth, not inside this slide or write it out. So that's that, and you should try to make the presentation slide simple, so we don't have like contrast of colors where you have a white background and the other color is yellow and you cannot really see what the text is. And another thing I will mention is for us to define the problem statement, because if you're trying to solve a particular problem and we don't really understand what you're trying to solve, it will be meaningless. And we should try to make our visualizations more interactive. So if you hover over, the bar charts, you should see maybe what category or that data is. So something like that, we should try to make it more interactive. And we should, if you need to show your code at all, which I'm not sure you're supposed to do in this presentation, you can use something like carbon.ssh that will give you a very nice format. And the figures too, I noticed that most of us used like tools like maybe you were screenshotting the visualization. So what you can do is you can save the image as a PNG format. So the Matplotlib has a save figure function that you can use to do that. And lastly, for the premium students, I feel like you're going to learn a lot because I learned most of the things I know now, especially the end-to-end machine learning pipeline from the previous internship. So I urge us to pay for the premium courses because you're going to be doing a lot of end-to-end machine learning. So it's not just going to be visualizations, you're going to be building models and you're going to actually see this model work in real life. So you're going to probably have a web app that is going to show prediction and all. So nice one, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Zaliat. Thank you, Gura. Thank you, Precious. Thank you, everyone. Well, I would have loved, to continue in the spirit of saying thank you. But let me hand over to, another astute member of the Amoye team who would give us the votes of thanks and the closing remarks for the day. And she'll tell you also when you see the results of the presentation. So Sophia Jack would handle proceedings from there. Thank you, guys.
Wow. It's been an interesting session so far, watching presentations from our interns. I'm sure you would agree that you've learned a lot from these presentations. I must greatly appreciate each one of you for putting work into these projects and give us a reason to make jottings. In fact, I had my pen and paper, I was writing down. Thank you to our judges, the Hamoye A team members of the Hamoye team, and all our participants on YouTube and here on Zoom. Trust me, there's still a whole lot more to learn in the premium courses. There'll still be another presentation at the end of the premium too, and we're enjoying every one of you to seize the opportunity. Sign up and be part of this machine learning ride. Let's build the future of work together. Do well to register and be on your way to becoming a machine learning expert. Are you still wondering what your results are? I'm sure you can't wait to get the results. And you want to know who's champion from these presentations, wouldn't you? Well, we are completing the results from the 3 judges and we'll have it published on Monday. So watch out for it. Also, if you haven't subscribed yet to our social media channels, please do so as soon as possible at Hamoye HQ on Twitter and on YouTube. Thank you again, our interns, our judges, our AT members, and all participants. See you soon. Bye for now.